Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelosi, and that's another new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. In this tutorial, we'll start again to talk about how to create glass inside the 3ds Max 2010. Uh, the past time we worked using a Mental Ray, and this time we see how to create a realistic glass scene using Final Render from Sebat software. Let's start to set up the scene. We try to prepare something not so complex, and we try to have something that can be perfect for a Christmas scene. Let's check the unit setup, and we see that everything is okay because we have metric and centimeters. Now we can remove the grid, selecting the viewport and pressing the G key. Okay, and we are ready to start working on the scene. And for the scene, we can create an extended primitives. We use a chamfer box, and we can create it in a very fast way. And later we can go in the modify panel, and we can select 1 meters for 1 meters, and it can be for the height value we can use maybe 1 meter 2, and we say that the fillet is maybe 5 centimeters, and let's move it at the center of the mesh, and let's use more fillet segments, and let's try to have maybe 10 centimeters for the fillet. So we have the base box to create some mesh inside, and we select, we go in the modify panel, and we add the shell modifier. Okay, so we have the right outer amount, and let's put for the moment the camera inside, going inside. Okay, we are inside the box, and we can create a camera from this viewport. And to create the camera, we have to go in the view menu, and we have to select create camera from view, or you can use the Ctrl C from the keyboard, and later we can select a better camera, but for the moment it can be okay. And let's maybe rotate a little, okay, like this one. Let's create a sphere like this one, and that's 3 centimeters, and let's work on maybe 7 centimeters. So we have to change a little the camera position. Okay, and let's check again the dimension. Okay, and let's go to 3.5 centimeters for the radius. Let's move it like this. Okay, something like this. And let's change a little the position of the camera, like this one. Okay, we have the basic sheen, and let's save the sheen. Let's go in the right directory. Okay, CG cookie, and we are ready to save. So let's select the right menu directory. Sorry. Let's go inside December, and let's go in tutorial 3, and let's save it like with the right name. Okay, let's wait for the saving process, and now we can create another little mesh I'll be not so precise in the modeling stuffs because I prefer to work more on the illumination and shading process. So let's create a cylinder like this one. Okay, let's move it. Okay, and we have a very simple ornaments. We'll see later that we'll be able to have an ornaments for the Christmas tree. So let's group this one and let's call it Chris Ball. Okay, let's make another copy and let's change the pivot point and we put it there, and now we move it like this one and we make another copy. Okay, like this one, and we can change the rotation. Okay, you can see that the modeling is not so precise, but it's not a big problem for the moment. So let's move a little the camera and let's go inside the camera menu and show save frames so we see perfectly what the camera will see. Let's zoom back the viewport and we are ready to start the shading process and the illumination. So let's go in the rendering setup and let's change the default production renderer from mental ray to final render, and we are ready to use it. Okay, let's go in the light creation and we can select final render and rectangular light and we create a light there. Okay, let's go to check the rectangular area. Let's change it and let's use, for example, 76 and something like that. I'm using a 73 and we are ready to check. Let's save to check the first render and let's see what we can obtain, and that's our illumination. The first thing you can see is that we have the area lights inside the sheen. Okay, later we can use also the global illumination, and now we can create another light. So we select the light and we remove the targeted option and we make a copy of the light and we rotate the light. Okay, like this one, and let's change the colors. Let's try to use something like that, and let's try to use, for example, 0.5 for the coloring, and let's check again a test for the render. I think we can change. Let's stop it and let's use maybe 0.2. Okay, it's better to have not so huge power light because we have to use also the undirected illumination. Okay, so let's select the environment. I open the material editor and I name it environment, and we can use a Final Render Advanced. I choose something near the white color for the diffuse. I add it, and let's try to set a little resolution for the rendering, and let's see the first test. Okay, we have a white environment, and now I can select another slot. I select this one and I open the group and I select, let's go, sorry, okay, let's select this one, and we can create a metallic shader. So I use again the advanced shader coming from Final Render. Okay, and this one can be with reflection, a very high reflection like this. Maybe we can use a lot of reflection, and we change the specularity, something like that, and we name it metal, and I assign it to this mesh. Now I go there and I open this group, I select this one, okay, and I assign the metal shader. I open this group and I assign the metal shader. Let's save the scene and let's check again the render, and we have the metallic stuffs over the sphere. Okay, and now we have to work on the glass. So we can create a glass shader, a very simple glass shader. We can use the Final Render Glass like this, and I can assign it to the first one. We see that we have the specularity control. I assigned it, and we can render the sheen again. And you see that it's a very simple glass shader, but in this shader we have the control over the coloring, the diffuse color of the glass. We have the reflection level, and we can select also the index of reflection, or refraction, sorry, and we have also the amount of refraction, and you can change, and using the glossy reflection or glossy refraction, changing the blurring of this to shader, and we'll try to use it in not so much amount of time. And we have some interesting advanced effects inside the panel, and we have also the possibility to create the absorption, but for this example we can try to use like this, and we select maybe the green, and we say that the end is 3 centimeters, and we say that it's like fog, and if we render again the sheen, okay, you see that we have a green glass, and we have also the green shadows there. Okay, let's make less fog. Let's say maybe 0.2, and let's try again, and maybe with 5 centimeters for the end value. Okay, you see that we have a very little green amount of coloring over the glass, and we have a very little coloring also for the shadows. Okay, let's stop it and let's select the light. Okay, everything is okay. Let's go back inside the material, and we can maybe use a plastic to see also the glossy reflection. So I say plastic and I select Final Render Advanced. Okay, and let's try to have something like maybe a red one. Okay, let's give it, and we say that we have a huge amount of reflection, and we know Fleschner reflection, so we can remove the amount of reflection, something like that, and we say that we have a blurry reflection, maybe 75, 85. Okay, and let's add some specularity and some glossiness, and change the coloring to something similar to the red. Let's save the sheen, let's close it, and let's render again our test. And now we can see the red plastic for the third sphere. Okay, we have to wait for the last bucket. It is not so fast because we are using, maybe we have to move this sphere, but we can create, we can copy it, and we can move it, for example, something like that. Okay, so now we can start working on the most complex glass shader we'll try to create on this first tutorial on Final Render. Let's save the sheen and let's go inside the material editor, and we can create a Final Render Advanced. And I'd like to maintain in viewport just the sphere and the environment, so I select this mesh, and I go inside the tool menu, and we select isolate selection, so we have just this mesh inside the viewport. Let's select the sphere, and we can create glass ornaments. Okay, I give this material, and let's say that we have maximum amount of refraction, and we say that we have a very high level of specularity like this one, and a glossiness, so something around 100 for the specularity and 15 for the glossiness. 50, sorry. So let's try to render the test like using this value. Okay, and we have a glass sphere. Okay, let's use maybe something less for the refraction, and let's see if we can use something more for it. Not for the moment. So I'd like to have also some reflection, so let's try with something like that for the reflection, and we use the Fresnel reflection. And let's see again a render test. Okay, we have a little shadow because I changed the amount of refraction, so the sphere is we have less transparency, and I think that we can use more reflection. I think we can use maximum reflection. Okay, and I'd like to have some ornaments over the glass, and to make it we can use, for example, the bump. So I go in the bump, I select a bitmap, and I go inside the right directory. Okay, video tutorial. We have to wait. Okay, let's use CG Cookie December on tutorial 3, and we have some ornaments inside this map. Okay, let's see the image. You see that we have something coming from Christmas stuffs, and we can choose what we like to use. So for example, we can choose to have this one. So we say apply, we say let's use this one, or maybe we can choose all the stuffs in this area. Okay, and now if I render again, let's say before, we'll see that our reflection will be deformed by the bump map I'm using, and you see that the amount of deformation is very high. So maybe we have to use less deformation. But the best way to understand how we like to apply this map is to copy the map, copy it in the diffuse and another shader, and we give the shader to this one, and we say we'd like to see the map over the viewport, and we remove the tiling, and we try to scale it. You see it. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we can see everything over the sphere, and now we can copy again this one. We can go in the bump, and we can make past copy, and we can assign again the shader. Now we can try to render again. Okay, you see that the effects is not so visible, but we can see it using a better scale for the rendering. So we use an higher value for the resolution, and we add the anti-aliasing to check it better, and let's see how it works. And later we move to use a better effects that will be the displacement over the glass. We have to wait because the process is complex and we are using a very low quality map for the bump effects, but you can see that the result is very interesting, and we are using just a very simple bump effects, but final render is very powerful. Okay, you see that it's interesting, the final result, but we are ready to move to a new level. So I remove the anti-alias, I save the scene, and we uh, we hide everything, and we have the entire scene. And I like to see if we can be faster uh, to render this kind of effects. So maybe you can use more reflection and try to use just for sample, just to be very fast. Let's save the scene and let's try to render everything. And we see now we see to move to the displacement and to add also the global illumination if we need it. So we are rendering, and we have to wait a little for the rendering of the image. And I think that we can change something inside uh, the red shader, and we'll use less reflection, and let's try with 50. Okay, and let's use more specularity. Okay, let's save it and let's see again the rendering in progress. So we can be faster, and in your test you can use also the glossy reflection. Maybe I'll use it in the final test if it's not so much for the moment. Okay, let's wait. In this set of tutorial, we are working for the shading of glass material. We are working just on the shader. So maybe in some new tutorial, we'll try to use all the stuffs to create a complete scene with all the modeling. Or maybe we can use some modeling tutorial to use later the shader we are preparing. You see that now we have also the internal refraction and reflection of the red things inside the water sphere, sorry, the glass sphere. Okay, and now we can let's change a little the camera. Okay, like this one. Let's save it, and I'd like to have again just the last sphere and environment. Let's go there and let's change to displacement. Let's try using 20, and we have to select to use the displacement in the final render. Let's set to on MTD, micro triangle displacement, and we have to say the height value, and we say maybe 0.3 centimeters, and let's render the test. Maybe it's too much for the moment. Okay, no, it's not so much, but the resolution is too low, so we have to use more subdivision. Let's try with 8 subdivision. And the problem is also that we are using a very low quality for the map, so we have to use more faces to obtain the right level of quality. Okay, so it's better to use another feature so we can see in a very fast way the displacement. So we select the sphere, I open the group, I select just the sphere, and we select final render micro displacement to see the final result there. So I select the map and I copy it there as an instance. Okay, so you can see everything in real time, and we see the subdivision, and we need more faces inside the sphere. Let's try with 80. Okay, and let's see. The rendering is 8, so let's use 8, and we need more face. Okay, let's try with 200, and then we can use also the turbo smooths. Okay, and let's remove the edge, and we see it there. Okay, you see the effects, but it's very hard. Minus 0.3. Okay, something like that. It's not so precise, this map, so it's better to use, okay, something like that. Okay, let's check it. I have to give Okay. We have some kind of problem with the map, but we have it, so I have to understand which is the problem. Okay. Okay, this will be better if you can use a very high quality map, but I have just this one, so please refer just to the features and not to the result. So for the final result, we'll use the bump map, because I see that the map is not so so good for our purpose. But if you have a high-res map, you can use it, and the final result will be very, very good. Okay, let's stop it. It's better to come back to the bump, so we can remove this one and this one and this one, and we can go back to maybe 60 segments. And let's go there, and we are using this value is okay. Let's try to have minus 30, and let's see just an area of the render. And it seems okay. Okay, so let's hide everything. So I have to close the group, hide all, and let's go back to a low resolution, and let's use the global illumination, and we use 2 bounces, and we can use the final render image engine because we are rendering just a still frame, and we are ready to make our first test render. So I open this rendering tool, I say area, hold the entire image, and we can make our first test using the global illumination, so we can see if the lighting is too high or not. And yes, I can say that we have too much light inside the scene, so let's remove it. Let's select this light, and let's go for the moment to 0.5, and for the second one 0.05. Let's try again. We have better illumination, I think. Yes. And on another tutorial, maybe next month, we'll start also to check some features coming from Final Render, like the motion blur or the depth of field, because we can't use it actually, because we don't know how to use it, but we'll check it for sure. And okay, we are ready to make the rendering for the moment, and so we can save it, and I can launch the final render, and you'll see the result as it will be finished. Before we can launch the final render, I prefer to change a little the camera position. Something like that, so we can remove also the sphere there. This one, we can remove it. I can save it again. We can see a little render with the anti-alias and the global illumination. And later I can launch the final render, and you can see it without having to wait for it. Okay, so you see that we have a basic effects over the glass sphere, and we made our first test using the final render shader, and this will be just the beginning for our purpose to start talking about final render. So it was a very simple tutorial, but it was good to start to talk about this rendering engine. And in next month we'll talk about all the features, and we will try to create some complex scene using a final render and also Mentor Ray, and maybe also V-Ray rendering engine. So let's save the scene, and for this tutorial is everything. I hope to continue to use it, to use Final Render to make a more complex tutorial next month. And for the moment, it's everything, and I hope to see you soon again on CG Cookie for a new tutorial. And I can say just thanks. Bye.